When is it done? When have you revised enough? When is it good enough to go out to the world? When is your book done? Well, my answer isn't going to work for every author, but hopefully this answer helps. Stay tuned. Hi, I'm MK. I'm an author and I love sharing my insights about all things books and publishing with you. Before I get into the details of today's topic, don't forget to hit subscribe. You'll be notified every week as I put out new videos about publishing, making a career to being an author, and now being a mompreneur. Now, this is a question that I think every author has to ask themselves, whether they're self-publishing, traditionally publishing, hybrid publishing, Wattpad publishing, is when is my book done? So I got this exact question from my friend Kristen, who is the host of the Where I Left Off podcast, and she's writing her first novel. So exciting. So when she sent me the question of how do you know when your book is done, my first thought was, okay, she's definitely a novelist now, because we all wonder this. I think no matter how much revision an author does, they all wonder at some point, when is it done? How do I know when it's done? And whether that's done for you to self-publish it, whether that's done for you to send it to an editor, whether that's done for you to send it out to query agents, like when is done enough? And so the answer is going to be so personal because we all have a different tolerance for potential errors or perfectionism. So I will say that writing, revising, editing, all within 3 months and then self-publishing is likely not enough. If this is your full-time job and you've refined your process over 20 or so books, maybe that's you. But those authors aren't watching this channel. So if this is your first, second, even third book, I do think a couple of months is not enough because there's going to be ideas that pop up and percolate, and we all have a different process. So maybe you spent a year outlining and mapping it. And so yes, when it's time to write, it happens quickly, but I don't think that's a place that you get to on your first or second book. Now, I also know authors who have for 5 years taken long writing retreats and they refine their book, and every single time I ask them how querying is going, they say, well, I just need to do one more revision and then I'm going to start querying. So the next time I see them, oh, no, I need to do one more revision and then I can start querying. And so what I hear from them is that they want everyone in their critique group to check it one more time. They want everybody to love it. And not only do I think that process is taking too long, but it errs on the side of perfect being the enemy of done. For starters, no book is going to appeal to everyone. Just that's a fact. There are some people, they just like different genres. They like different tropes. They like different points of view. And so nobody is going to pick up your book and say, this is the most perfect book that's ever written. Everybody on the planet will love it. It's never going to happen. And if you're revising and refining until that happens, that's too long. So here's what I do, because I also have times where I think that was too quick or this is taking too long. And I still have these thoughts, and I've been doing this for almost a decade. So here's what I do. So I look at each draft as, is it done? Right? When I write that first draft, I know it's a mess. I know I'm going to need to go through it at least 2 or 3 times. I'm looking for consistency. I have notes that I leave myself. I want to make sure those are all revised about, am I bringing out enough emotion? Is the description right? I'm definitely an underwriter, so I have more notes for like, add more here. I'll do a listen through with the Microsoft Word read aloud function. So then I get to the point where, okay, I have this book memorized. I am not going to catch anything else. I send it to my alpha reader. I get notes back. I review it 2 or 3 times. I feel like I'm sick of it. I'm like, okay, it's perfect enough for the next round. And so that way I'm still moving it forward. I'm still getting feedback. I'm still getting that. And then eventually, okay, like beta readers are done. Developmental edits are done. Copy edits are done. The checklist is done. It's ready. And eventually, we all have to go through this. You submit the book for querying or you get it formatted for self-publishing, and you're accepting there may be some errors in there. There are best-selling books out there traditionally published by top 5 houses that have errors in them. It happens. We're all human. And so the idea that your book has to be perfect before ever getting feedback it's unrealistic. And I think we need to start to accept perfect enough. So I promise with each subsequent book you write, you'll get more confident when that inner voice announces it's done. You'll get better and faster at revising and catching those issues. So one answer I like to give authors when is the book done? Like when you're sick of it. when you cannot think of a single other thing to fix, and when you finished your revision checklist. That's it. You did it. Go forth, query or self-publish. What other questions do you have for me about the writing process? Feel free to leave those in the comments below. I quite literally pull those comments for future videos. If you found this information helpful, or you just want to encourage me and other authors on this never-ending process of self-questioning and is it done, leave this video a thumbs up, hit subscribe, or even hit that shiny new thanks button. That tells YouTube you got value from this information, and then they can get it in front of other authors like us. Now you can get back to writing your book.